Good morning. Welcome to the What's Up London show. I'm your host, Jennifer Slay. I would like to recognize and acknowledge the ancestors that came before me, allowing me to be here today. I also acknowledge that London is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, the Napawak, and the Ottawa peoples, and that I'm very fortunate to be able to call this land home. Today's show is eclectic, to say the least. Our first guest is a book writer and author of Grow, an outrageously fun, big-hearted musical that examines the bonds of family, the value of community, and the choices we make in order to grow. Let's talk to Matt Murray, the writer of Grow, and learn more. Hello, Matt, and welcome to the show.
Hey, Jennifer. How's it going?
It is going well. It is going well. So, congratulations on a successful opening at the Grand on the 19th.
Thank you so much.
So tell us about Grow. For those who have not gone yet to see it, tell us about Grow.
So Grow is a musical comedy. It starts out in an Amish community and centers around twin sisters, Hannah and Ruth. And Hannah dreams of exploring the modern world before being baptized into the Amish church forever. And musical comedy ensues, and her twin sister head off, and they hit the big city of Toronto. And when they get there, they realize very quickly that all their plans have gone up in smoke, and they end up crashing with a down on his luck illegal cannabis grower. And long story short, one of the sisters develops the world's greatest strain of weed.
Huh, interesting. So how did you have this idea? Because you wrote the book, right?
Yeah, so I wrote the book. So book is a term that often gets a little confusing because its origin is from libretto, from opera, which means, really the story and all the non-sung parts. So the dialogue and everything that weaves the songs together. So that's in musical theater, that's called the book, different from a novel. And so, yeah, the quick version is Colleen Dauncey and Akiva Romer-Siegel, who are the composer-lyricist duo. We were introduced by Michael Rubinoff, who is our producer. And he, I think he was maybe doing a little bit of matchmaking. I was writing plays, they were writing musicals. And we just decided we wanted to write something together, and we didn't know what it was going to be. And I always say that musicals are sort of like long-term relationships, which is you got to be really sure about it before you make that commitment, because, here we are 8 years later, right? Like it's taken a long time to get to this place. And so I was watching the news one night and I saw a story about Amish teenagers going on Rumspringa, which is the Amish practice of like the translation is running around. And really what it is it's an opportunity for young people to explore the modern world in some capacity in order to make an informed decision whether or not they want to commit to the Amish life. And I was like, well, that sounds like a really good an interesting setup for a musical. It's got that fish out of water element, it's exploring new worlds, and it just felt very, very conducive to musicalization. And we knew we wanted to do twin sisters, and we knew we wanted them to go to Toronto, but we weren't sure what happens when they got there. And then we kind of went down this list of like, well, maybe they save the neighborhood from a condo development and all these bad ideas. And then, I was sitting there and I was thinking, okay, well, Amish, like woodworking, agriculture. And I was like, wait, what if they grow weed? And then there was a big laugh amongst the three of us. And we were like, okay, I think we have it. So that's really how it happened. Never looked back. So here we are. Yeah, as I said, 8 years later.
Wow. Well, it sounds very interesting. When I was reading about what the play was about, I'm like, huh, how are they going to pull this off? So, it's and I encourage everybody to go to the Grand and watch this play because it's going to knock your socks off.
And hilariously, as I said, because we started writing it 8 years ago, we had a whole other version of the show because cannabis was illegal. So it had like the ramifications and the conflict and the complications around cannabis were very different. And then in the midpoint of our development process, Canada ups and legalizes cannabis and makes it mainstream and available. And so at first we were like, oh no, like we've got this whole show. However, it ended up being the thing that really unlocked the show for us. It really was the thing that made everything click together. And we were like, wow, what a great opportunity to, explore this new frontier and what it is, what is this plant and what is its history? Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you had to do a pivot and then you've created edutainment because I think people are going to learn a lot from this. And it's like I said, musical genius and themes and all of that kind of stuff. So thank you so much for sticking to it because 8 years is a long time. A lot of people would give up. So thank you. And I encourage Londoners to come out to the show, watch it, tell your friends, let them come out and watch it. It's been amazing. Thank you so much, Matt.
Well, thank you so much for having me. And hopefully we'll see everyone at the show.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Your happy place. Easy 1013, the perfect music mix.
Don't be distracted and leave your cooking unattended.
Stand by your pan and look while you cook.
I started playing softball when I was 5 years old. I loved it because it was all about having fun with my friends, and it still is.
From little kids to adults to seniors, softball is a sport for everyone. Join us.
Favorite part of volunteering at Rogers has been picking up new tech skills like running cameras or graphics and getting to volunteer with and meet people in a super fun sports-based environment.
You're watching Rogers TV, London.
Welcome back. Do you have trees in your yard? Are they small trees, big trees? Well, regardless of the size, arborist Ryan Statham is here to offer advice on how to care for your trees. Hello, Ryan. How are you?
Jennifer, good. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome to the show. So, Ryan, tell us a little bit about what it is that you do.
So I'm a certified arborist with the Davy Tree Expert Company. We do general plant healthcare, whether it's trimming or disease management, pretty much the whole gamut of tree care.
Okay. And so right now, trees, how do I put this? I'm thinking that they might be confused because last week we had this big snow. The week before it was beautiful. And now this week it's beautiful again. How are trees doing when the weather changes like this?
Well, it's complicated, but trees take their cues from the environment. So when we have warm temperatures, that's contributing to the plants opening their buds and getting ready for summer. And similarly, cold temperatures affect the plants too. Once trees start to bud, they're sort of set on that path. So if they've already started to open their buds and then we get a really cold snap, that can certainly cause damage to the plants. So you're right. They're a little bit confused right now with the ups and downs, but they're well adapted to that. I mean, that's been happening for as long as trees have been around. So hopefully we don't see too much damage.
Okay. And then with regards to like their budding, something that I've noticed, and we talked a little bit about this prior to coming on here, is that trees are budding earlier now. Can you tell a little bit about why that happens?
Yeah, general. I mean, this has been a conversation topic for a long time, is the warming climate, and as temperatures warm up on a general scale, trees take their cues from the environment, and so if it's warmer, they're going to be budding out slightly earlier every year, and year over year, it's probably a very small change, but over a long period of time, they start to bud out earlier and earlier in the season. And that's been shown and fairly well documented in a number of studies that they are budding out earlier. So.
Yeah. And you had mentioned that it's like 26 days earlier now.
Yeah, in Alberta, and they were looking at trembling aspens. And over the last 100 years, they've documented that these aspen stands are actually leafing out up to 26 days earlier than they were 100 years ago. So.
Okay. And now is that a bad thing? Is it a good thing, or is it just a thing that happens?
As the climate's getting warmer, certainly they're going to bud out earlier. Part of the problem that can create is they're a little bit more susceptible to late frosts. So when they bud out earlier, that might be because the temperatures have been slowly warming up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be that cold snap, as we saw last week here in London. Where it gets really, really cold. So if the trees have opened their buds and then it gets cold, at that point you can start to see frost damage on some of the fine tips of the plants. So
okay. And then what can that mean for the environment in general when the trees are damaged in those ways?
Well, certainly it affects different trees different ways. Some trees are very, very hardy, but other trees, especially flowering trees and fruit trees, that can cause damage to the flowers, so you don't get as many flowers. It can also cause damage to the fruit. So certainly it can have an impact. Right.
Okay, so in general, in terms of tree care, what can people do if they have beautiful trees in their yard and they want to make sure that they stay healthy? What are some general tips?
The big one is to contact an arborist. You want to get a professional in the industry to come out and give you that high level advice. And certainly there's a ton of different things you can do, like fertilizing the plants. You can wrap certain species like cedars, wrap them in the fall to make sure that they don't get winter burn or get dried out by cold winds in the wintertime. But the biggest one is to have an arborist come out, and they can give you professional advice that's tailored to your plants.
Awesome. So there's a lot to know about trees, and the best thing for us to do is to contact someone like yourself, an arborist, to come out and help us to make our trees stay beautiful and healthy.
That's it. Contact an arborist. They'll come out and take a look, and they'll give you some great advice.
Thank you so much for being here, Ryan. Really appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Huron Flooring offers a vast selection of pre-finished hardwood floors in a variety of colors, textures, widths, and finishes. We also provide resanding and refinishing of your existing flooring and stairs. Visit us at Huron Flooring, 782 York Street in London.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Mario Elia, and I'm the host of a new show here on Rogers TV that we're calling Keeping London Healthy with Dr. Mario. So tune in Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. and we'll see you then.
Hi, my name is Gerald. I'm a volunteer here at Rogers TV. Really happy with all the great things I've learned doing video productions for Rogers, all the great people I've met, and being part of a great community.
At St. John Ambulance, we're all about community. We teach life-saving skills and provide community support through our volunteer services. All St. John Ambulance product sales and training registrations support these important services. Volunteer, donate, or enroll in a program today so we can continue to have an impact on our community. Visit sja.ca to learn more. At St. John Ambulance, we do more than save lives, we change lives.
You're watching Rogers TV.
Welcome back. When people do good in the community, it is always nice to recognize their good deeds. The PHSS Foundation will be doing just that. Please welcome Marion Strom, the chair of the PHSS Foundation, who's here to talk to us about their annual salute to Laudable Londoners. Hello, Marion, and welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So you have a big event coming up, but before you tell us about the event, can you tell us about your foundation and what it is?
Yes, I can. Participation House Support Services, and we're now called PHSS, is an organization, a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to supporting people with developmental, mental, or medical rather, and or complex physical needs so that they can live in their own houses and participate in the community with family and friends.
That's wonderful. So in terms of being able to do that, oftentimes when people are met with physical disabilities, they're not able to have that independence, and your foundation allows them to do that.
That's correct. We, our foundation, I am chair of the foundation, we have some significant goals. And one of them is, although it's not the priority, I'll tell you about the priorities, but one of the goals is housing and infrastructure. So we will buy homes, retrofit them so that people can live in the home and just have like a life like everybody else does, which is what our goal is.
Okay. And in order to do that, you need some money. So
yes, we do. Yes, we do. So Laudable Londoners, which is what we're talking about today. This year, it's on May 25th from 5:30 to 7:30, and it's at the Hunt Club. But we're also going to do a Zoom as well, because given how COVID just doesn't seem to want to go away, much like winter, we want to be able to have and include as many people as we can to see the event.
So what happens with the proceeds? When people donate or purchase tickets and the proceeds are there, what happens with that?
Okay, so we have areas of need within the organization, and we have the highest priority being accessible transportation. And that is because we have vans to be able to transport the people we support around to the events that they want to go to, be it to the movies, meet a friend for coffee. And these vans can be $75,000 to buy and retrofit with an electric wheelchair lift to be able to get them in and out safely and expediently. So that's one of our things. We also have, we're really big on when one of the people we support need to go to the hospital, we provide 24/7, a person 24/7 to act as their advocate and liaise with them between the medical staff of the hospital and the person that's in the hospital. And this helps to really deal with how stressful it is. Many of the people we support are nonverbal. So having someone who knows them there makes it very easy to make sure that the care is given properly and doesn't stress the person out too much.
Mm-hmm. Right. And with regards to being able to do all of this work, you have volunteers, you have supporters, and your event is to honor Laudable Londoners, right? Can you tell more about that and the person you're honoring this year?
Yes, this year we are delighted, ecstatic to honor Emma Donahue. And Emma is a world-renowned author. She has does a lot of work in London. She works with the London Public Library, and including the annual Speaking with Friends fundraiser. She does a lot of work there, and she also is a strong supporter of the Grand Theatre. She's done so much philanthropic work around the world, but I'm focusing more on what she does around London, which has done wonders to raise the profile within London as she chose London to live in.
Nice. Well, congratulations to the honoree. And if people want to know more, they can go to your website.
Yes, they can. You can get tickets from the website. And I also want to mention that Emma's new book will be available at the event, and she will be willing to sign the book. So it's another little reason maybe to come out and visit us out at the Hunt Club on May 25th.
Thank you so much, Marion, for being here today.
Thank you, Jennifer, for having me on the show. And it's a wonderful support to our organization. And thank you again very, very much.
Watch London Nationals hockey at 7 p.m. on Rogers TV.
My name is Jackie Redmond, and I'm a TV host at NHL Network. Well, I'm here with Gwen. I decided to volunteer at Rogers TV London while I was still a college student, and I got to do so many things. I did camera work, I did graphics, I sat in the control room, I even did stage managing while I was there. Eventually, though, I did get the opportunity to go out into the field and do actual reporting work. Well, it's that time of year again. The holidays are fast approaching. When I started to go to auditions for on-air jobs down the line, I felt so much more comfortable, not just in front of the camera, but with myself, because I had worked in a real TV station and got hands-on experience to learn from people that knew so much more than I did. And I think when it came time for my opportunities, I was just that much more ready.
Favorite part of volunteering at Rogers has been picking up new tech skills like running cameras or graphics, and getting to volunteer with and meet people in a super fun sports-based environment.
Welcome back. Our next guest has a heart to help, and one way that she shows it is through her business. Awestruck Aspirations is a small business that aims to enhance the well-being of people with dementia, as well as their caregivers, through low-cost, easy-to-access, and easy-to-use activities, ideas, and resources. Let's meet Lisa Jaworski and learn more. Hello, Lisa, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
No problem. So you are a recreational therapist as well as the creator of Awestruck Aspirations.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about both, but first tell us, what is a recreation therapist?
Well, to keep it very simple, I like to think of, if you just use those two words, recreation therapists use recreation as therapy. So we have 5 different domains that we really focus under to help individuals who may need more empowerment in certain areas of their life. So we focus on physical well-being, intellectual well-being, the emotional well-being, social and spiritual factors as well. So it's really a holistic view. And yeah, we're here to help individuals. I work specifically with people in the older generation, 65 and over is my specialty, specifically people who have dementia primarily, but also mental health concerns. So yeah, just figuring out how we can best support a person and find out what those abilities are and really draw on those strengths and skills a person has.
And from what I've read, your business, Awestruck Aspirations, it's connected to exactly that, correct?
Right. So Awestruck Aspirations, the AWE is capitalized because it stands for drawing on age, wisdom, and experience. And the reason I feel so strongly about that is because I've always learned most from people older than me. And in my work, it brings me such joy. So drawing on those three pieces to inspire and empower and educate all of us is really important. I think reducing the stigma around people even who have memory loss, and same as how we're working towards seeing people who have mental health conditions as, you know, kind of everyday life. So by seeing people with dementia or memory loss as people who still have information and experience to give back to the rest of us, I think is just crucial.
Yes. And so what exactly does your business do to support them?
So at this point, during the beginning of COVID, I started a YouTube channel and have just really been exploring different ways to just get information out there on how we can communicate with one another, what are best practice communication approach techniques. And so Awestruck Aspirations right now currently just has an Etsy shop. And the reason I created that is so that anyone can have the resources and tools and activities that can be drawn on by family members and friends, as well as home care companions and long-term care and recreation activity professionals. So just giving us some extra resources to draw on to see the positives and the strengths that individuals with memory loss continue to have.
Okay. Now, I may be way behind the times, but what exactly is an Etsy shop?
So Etsy, if you were to look up etsy.ca or etsy.com, it's like a marketplace. So it's a place where you can go and it's full of small business or handmade products. So they might be physical products that people can ship to you. Mine are digital downloads or, you know, instant downloads. So you don't get anything shipped to you physically, but mine are more printed resources. So for example, I have one called the Conversation Cues, and it's all life story questions and you know, just to start conversations with individuals. So for mine, it's a matter of you purchase for a couple of dollars, really, that's all it is. And then once you have that, it's yours to use whenever you want. They can be printed as many times as you want. So it just really supports local businesses, I guess, in a different way, more online in the online community. And yeah, with me not having a heap of time when I do also work, that this is a great way for me, I felt like, to give back in a different way.
Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for being here and for sharing your business with us. And please, Londoners, please go visit her on Etsy and support the work that she does. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining me today. And please go to the websites and social media platforms of our guests and support their efforts. I look forward to being here again with you next week, and ask that you please like, comment, and share this episode with your friends. Be well and take care.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Do you have something to share? Let everyone know about your next meeting, your need for volunteers, or your fundraising event on the Rogers TV Community Billboard. Send us your words and we'll bring them to life on Rogers TV and rogerstv.com. When it's time to spread the word, go to rogerstv.com to add your announcement to the Community Billboard.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions,